hello, everybody. Shh. Start over. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next episode of the Wayward Lasses, All the Things podcast. I'm your host today, Brittany, joined by the wonderful host, side host, co-host, my family, my mother, Amy.
Hola.
Oh, vamos a hablar español en este episodio. En mi hermana Courtney.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Oh, muy bien, gracias. Okay, guys, so today we are actually going to be talking about our favorite episode of season 1 of Supernatural. Let me tell you, this took me for a whirlwind when they said this is what we wanted to do. I'm going to be completely honest with you. We decided on this today. I spent the last 2 hours quickly binge watching every episode, every 22 episodes of season 1. I have found my favorite, but I've got lots to talk about season 1. So before we get started, what are you giggling about?
How did you binge watch 22 episodes in 2 hours? So
I have the remote in my hand. I have the remote in my hand, and it's on Netflix, so I'm just clicking. I'm clicking through each scene, and I'm doing voice in my hand. Sammy, don't do that. No, Dean, but it's okay. Where's Dad? Oh, she died. Oh, there's blood. I'm like going through it, and if there's a part that I didn't remember, I would stop and watch it for a little bit. I'm like, oh, that's what happened right there. And I would normally stop it when they're trying to figure out what the monster is and how to kill them. So, I didn't get through all of them, but the majority of season 1, I was able to quickly binge watch in 2 hours.
All right.
Crazy. But I will say, it kind of makes me want to go back and rewatch every single one of them.
Told you. Season 1, I think, is by far my favorite season.
I'm kind of in agreement with you. Just real quick before we get into trivia, we were talking about this when we were talking about the new season of the Winchesters, about how dark and scary it was. And it's dark and scary.
Yeah, it is.
It is. Even the first episode, I was like, oh my gosh, this was season 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything is dark and scary, and it's very intriguing. And then to think about our last episode, was the episode 2 episodes before, when we were talking about the Winchesters and how the preview is all just giggles and fun and laughing. It made me appreciate the original Supernatural and how, I don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Help me.
Which also, though, I would say makes the finale of the entire series so fitting. Yeah. Because they went back to
the original,
what they were always doing in the beginning.
Yeah.
So
hunting monsters. I remember killing things. I think it was the first episode I was watching, and he's like, or maybe it's the second one, and he's like, the trail for Dad has gone cold, and we're getting further and further every day. And he's like, what, Sammy? We're still on the hunt for Dad, but we're going to kill every evil thing along the way. I was like, that's what it was all about.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So here we go. Question number 1. Now, these were hard. I got less than a 50% on this quiz, even though I binge watched everything 2 hours ago.
Yeah, that's not very promising.
It's hard. Okay. Where was the last known whereabouts of their father that Dean and Sam visited first? A, Hicksville. B, Jericho. C, Brookville. D, Salisbury.
Jericho. That's where the one it was.
We all agree?
Mm-hmm.
Jericho is correct, and I got that one correct.
Jericho.
Number 2. How old was Sam when his mother was killed? 2 months, 4, 6, or 8 months?
6 months old.
Mom?
Give me a second. I'm picturing him in bed.
Sam was born in November. Mary died in May.
Okay, 6.
6 months.
Get her.
You're insane. You're a
6 months, right?
It is 6 months. That's crazy that you knew that. I guessed 4. Okay, here we go. Number 3. This was easy. What is the name of Sam and Dean's mother?
Mary Winchester, or Mary Campbell.
Number 4. Which university did Sam attend?
Caltech?
Options?
Yes. It's in California.
A, Stanford.
Yes.
B, Santa Clara. C, University of Northern California. Or D, Westmont College.
Stanford.
The answer is Stanford. I knew it was in California, and I picked University of Northern California. Okay, here we go. This is easy. What was the name of Sam's girlfriend?
Jessica.
Jessica.
Jessica is correct. Next one. What was the first monster Sam and Dean faced?
The woman in
You want
white.
options?
The pilot is the woman. Yeah, in white. Yes, give us
You want
options.
options?
'Cause there's
She was a
probably
ghost.
the ghost.
Lamia?
Llorona? Go ahead.
Gotcha.
Rawhead, Vetala, or Wendigo?
What was it?
Wait, what? Say it again?
Lamia, Rawhead, Vetala, or Wendigo?
Well, the Wendigo is in episode 2.
That's
so
what. Okay,
that's
so
the
the
first
answer.
monster.
Vetala.
The answer is the Wendigo, which
Just
I
the
know
first
was in episode
monster?
2, and the first episode is La Llorona. But did
the
they
woman
ever
one.
figure out what she was?
Yeah, but maybe
Yes.
she's not necessarily a monster. She was kind of like
Why?
Just a ghost?
ghost. Yeah.
Ooh, spooky ghost.
That was
I
a
don't
trick
know.
question.
Yeah.
That is a trick question. Okay. What object kept the spirit of Hookman alive?
It was something
What are the
small.
options?
Yes.
Options are
His hair?
bracelet, necklace, watch, or ring.
Wasn't a ring.
Was
Could
it
have been a pocket
necklace?
watch. Necklace was my first. My first. Yeah.
Are we
or a
agreeing on
watch.
necklace?
Or a pocket watch. I don't know.
What's your final answer, Courtney?
The necklace.
Mom?
Yes, necklace.
Necklace is correct. I guessed ring. Okay, it says who is this, but the picture is now gone. But remember we talked about it in the episode where one of his friends or the dad's friends was based off the name of a state.
Missouri.
Yes.
Yeah, it is Missouri Mosley. Okay, easy. What car does Dean drive?
Chevy Impala.
60.
1967.
Seven.
Chevy Impala.
Baby.
Chevy Impala is correct, baby. I guessed, and I don't know what episode this is from.
Oh.
But what Godzilla movie is Dean's favorite?
With Mothra?
Do you want the options?
Sure.
Yeah.
Return of Gojira, Son of Gojira, Gojira versus Mothra, Gojira versus Destroya.
3.
3. C.
Yeah, Mothra was right. You guys are good. You guys are so good. Okay, there's a couple left.
All right.
Ma, next convention we should go up on stage and do trivia.
Oh, they'll freeze.
This is just season 1, guys.
Yeah.
I know. I'm so overly confident right now. Okay,
It's in Charlotte. It's in Charlotte. Let's go.
let's go. Thirsty?
Speaking of Charlotte, I have like one of these Yeti containers for my drinks.
Yeah.
So it feels heavy, and I thought there was something left, and there was nothing.
Twas nothing.
Okay. This was a hard one. What were the names of the 2 policemen that entered the asylum? Options. Walter and Sam, Jim and Daniel, Walter and Daniel, Caleb and Jim.
I like Caleb. I'm going to go with 4.
And what was Walter and who?
Walter and Sam, Jim and Daniel, Walter and Daniel, Caleb and Jim.
I like Walter and Daniel.
That's what I guessed. It's Caleb and Jim.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
Caleb.
Okay.
I did.
All right.
Which episode does Sam get kidnapped? Is it The Benders, Nightmare, Hell House, or Devil's Trap?
Devil's Trap is the last episode of season
What
1.
is Hell House, right?
Hell House is with that crazy farmer, haunted crazy farmer guy.
Oh, that was Dean then who got, right?
Electrocuted? Oh, I don't remember. I don't know. I'm going to say...
The answer is The Benders.
Oh.
I'm going to say the Benders.
Sorry. It's the
All
Benders.
right. Season 1. Jeez.
Okay, there are 3 left. Here we go. Number 13.
Holy
In the
cow.
episode... Yeah, sorry. I had to go full out. Here we go. In the episode Provenance, what year was the painting of the merchant family created? 1900, 1910, 1920, 1930.
1910.
The third one.
1910 is the answer. Number 14. What is the name of Dean's ex-girlfriend? And this was easy by process
Lisa.
of elimination. So I can give
No,
you
not
the
Lisa.
options.
Oh, not Lisa.
Want the options? Here we go. Meg, Mary, Jessica, Cassie.
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 Cassie. Process of elimination.
Yes.
Very last one. Here we go. What part of the U.S. Armed Forces was John Winchester formerly a part of? There are options.
Yeah, I bet you there's 4.
Yeah. Because, it's pretty...
Army.
I would say he's Army.
I think he's Army.
I guess
He's a
Navy.
Ranger.
He was actually a Marine.
Really? He was a
No.
Marine?
I thought he was an
Should
Army
they know that?
Ranger.
Now, I wonder if they'll show how that happened in with the Winchesters show.
Winchesters, yeah. Who knows?
Winchesterville.
Winchesterton, Iowa.
Winchesterton,
Couldn't remember.
Fieldville.
It's from Mr. D. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
It was like Winchesterton, Fieldville, Iowa. The guy with his kneecap.
Oh my God. So funny.
All right, guys. So here we go. We're going to hop into our favorite episode of season 1 of Supernatural. Who would like to go first?
My favorite episode. Sounds like I'm in kindergarten. My favorite episode is the Scarecrow episode, season 1, episode 11.
Because that's on my list.
It was like legit scary. That whole Scarecrow guy was so scary. And that's the Meg episode. That is the episode when Dean meets her.
When you're introduced to Meg.
Not Dean, Sam. Sam meets her at the bus stop and all that. But it's like so dark. It's so creepy. And do you notice, actually, it's the whole season, but do you guys notice that Dean's voice is different in season 1?
Yeah, because he wasn't grown up yet.
No, not puberty.
Sammy!
Like he's very like he's a little bit more upbeat.
Higher pitch. Yeah.
But I read something about that. He said like that was a specific choice. Jensen Ackles made that choice to change the character's voice a little bit when John actually dies, because now he knows that the mantle of the family is on his shoulders. So he becomes like a little bit
the man.
Yeah, the man of the family.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to that episode. I love the monster in it. He's a pagan god or something. And you guys remember
the town. The town is actually sacrificing them.
Yeah. The town sacrifices them once a year to maintain their crops. And the guy is like so scary because he looks like Leatherface. Do you remember his face? It's like all like sewn on.
Yeah, I just watched it.
Did you? It's so that's right. I forgot you binge watched.
Well, actually, like I stopped on the monsters, and I stopped on the scene where Dean gets up on a ladder and he gets in his face. I'm chewing food. I should stop talking. Keep talking, Courtney.
Yes, he gets in his face. He tells him he's fugly, but he notices that like he's wearing the skin of the tattoo of the guy who went missing the time before. But the other thing that was interesting, the dynamic that I noticed, because I did just rewatch this episode yesterday, was how he like really does blindly follow whatever John tells him to do. Like he turns into like a soldier almost. Like John tells him do this, and he just like his whole face changes, and he's like, "Yes, sir. Okay, sir," and that's it.
Yep.
And that's part of the reason why they fight, him and Sam, because Sam's like, "Why do you just do that?" You know. But anyway, yeah. So I would say because of how scary that episode is, it's definitely my favorite episode.
Yeah, and so that was also the episode where Sam hears from their dad, and he's like, "Stop looking for me."
Yep.
That's when he hears that, and like you said, they also get introduced to Meg. But yeah, that when I stopped on that part where he's looking at the Scarecrow, I swear the Scarecrow was breathing. Like the hair was real.
Yeah, and he's just gonna. Yeah, he's like moving.
Just jump out at you. Yeah.
And
did you
see Jeepers Creepers?
Yes, that movie is terrifying.
It reminds me of get those peepers. That one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's creepy. It's a really creepy episode, but I love it because it's dark and
the ending is. So I remember he was talking to some dude with the books because they always find somebody that has the books, and everybody has the books, but he was like, what happens if you burn the tree? And at the end, they end up burning the tree, I guess, that the scarecrow was connected to.
Mhm.
Yeah. And what's really like morbid is the girl in that episode that tries to help him. Her aunt and uncle like sacrifice her.
I know. It's like horrible.
They're like, "Well, we need a
I'm
sacrifice." I
sorry,
was like, wow, it's
dear.
pretty twisted.
Yeah, they were like, Erica, you have to let him take you. And she's like, no! Get out of here.
Or when Dean comes
Crazy.
looking, when he comes looking for the couple, she's like, "Yeah, remember that guy with the tattoo? Yeah, he was here." Like she's not even having it for this town.
No, yeah, not at all. That's a good
yeah.
one. That was actually on my top 3 was the scarecrow one.
Scarecrow's real good.
I have
how
top
about
3.
How
You
about
have
one of
3?
you?
I have top, like I had a top 3, and Courtney did one of them. So Mom, let's hear what yours was from season 1.
So mine was episode 9, Home. This is when the woman Jenny moves into the house in Lawrence, Kansas, which actually was Sam and Dean's home growing up. And her daughter, Sarah, is afraid of the figure in the closet. And her mother's like, no, like, there's nothing scary in the closet. So she goes downstairs and she goes to unpack stuff in the basement. And she hears her daughter scream because she sees in the closet this figure made of flames. Next thing you know, we see Sam's waking up and he has this vision of Jenny screaming. And he tells Dean, hey, there's something up. We need to go back to Lawrence and check out what's happening there. And if you guys remember, eventually what ends up happening is the figure in flames, so the house is haunted by some spirits, but the figure in flames actually turns out to be Mary. Do you guys remember that? So
Yes.
I love that because she actually appears in front of Sammy or Sam. She changes from a figure of flames into Mary. Dean is going to go and attack the flames, but he's like, no, wait. I know the spirit. Something's very familiar about it. And then that's when the flame transforms into Mary, and he gets to see his mother, and it was nice, right? It was very touching to see that. But the other thing that I liked about that episode, after they leave and things are okay, we are introduced to Missouri, right? They bring Missouri into the house to try and exorcise the spirits out of the house. But at the very end, remember the boys are leaving and she's like, hey, that boy has like a gift and wonder why he couldn't sense his father. And then the camera pans into Missouri's living room and we see John Winchester sitting on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so I skipped past that. Hold on. I was like, because like I said, I was only stopping for like the good stuff. So wait, hold on. They were at Missouri's place and he was sitting in her living room.
Yeah, he was in the living room and she's saying to him, so gifted. She has that high pitched voice. That boy is so gifted. I wonder why he couldn't sense his own father. And there's John
That's crazy.
Sitting in the living room.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Winchester.
So Mary was a trapped spirit in their house.
Yeah.
Did they set her? How did they set her free if there was no body to burn?
She ends up sacrificing herself to save her sons, and the I guess it goes.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Is that what happened? Because remember we were having the debate of she made a deal. What we were thinking, she made a deal with maybe the Crossroads Devil for John to forget everything, and then he came back and took her, and that's why she was burnt alive. And John had no idea what was going on. That was like, maybe our guessing for the premise of the Winchesters.
Right.
But what was explained in that episode? That she sacrificed herself for her children and did they set her body free? Did they burn something or kill a memoir of her or something to let her go?
No, she just I guess she just from what I remember, she, like I said, sacrificed herself. There was another spirit, a poltergeist, that was terrorizing the people who lived in that house. And she's like, hey, leave my sons alone. And Missouri's explanation is, I guess they canceled each other out, right? And she said, your mom sacrificed herself for you guys to save you guys. Did I get that right, Court? Do you remember?
Well, yeah, in the episode, yeah, but you come to find out later, Azazel, the yellow-eyed demon, explains that Sam had a gift. He was born with a gift, and he was collecting kids with this gift, remember?
Mhm.
So what he
Yeah.
was doing was he was feeding them demon blood, and Mary interrupted him feeding
Mhm.
baby Sam demon blood. That's why she was killed.
Because
But
she
now
interrupted, right?
yeah,
Mhm.
because she interrupted it. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I have to now look at it because now I'm not sure. But I feel like in one of the later episodes, something happened where she sees him, or she says, like, isn't there something that happens where she says, like, her baby, like somebody will come back for her baby or something? Maybe I'm making that up in my brain, but I feel like in one of the later episodes it's explained that she promised somebody something. She made a deal for something and he came back to collect on it, or maybe I'm just mixing that up with something else.
I don't know. I guess we have to go back and watch all
We'll
of
have
But
to
anyway, I know that
rewatch.
Mary actually does die because she interrupts the yellow-eyed demon feeding baby
Okay.
Sam blood.
Baby Sammy.
And in
Which
this
makes all
episode,
the more sense that he gets hooked on demon blood later, because doesn't he have like a realization like, oh, it was fed to me as a kid, I might as well continue on. Is
yep.
that what happened?
Well, no, Ruby finds him, and Ruby
Yeah.
then
Starts feeding
starts
She
showing him how
knew.
much
the
more
demon blood.
powerful.
Yep.
Yeah, but they do that under the premise of the whole Michael the Archangel and Lucifer and all that kind of stuff. Like that was, I think, during season 4 or something like that. Where that happens. So yeah. Anyway,
So safe
I
to
really
say
gotta
that
go
that's
back.
not going to be your favorite episode, or my episode did not make your top 3.
that episode was
No.
also the one where the baby gets locked in the fridge, right?
Oh, the baby gets locked in the fridge. The plumber puts his hand down the food
Garbage
thing, and
disposal.
it gets all
Aw.
torn up. That's what the
Mhm.
stupid monkey with the symbols, freaking monkey.
Yep.
Yes, all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Ready for mine?
we are
Mhm.
ready.
Mine was Faith, episode 13. And this episode was the one where there is like a blind preacher, and he's known
Oh,
for healing people, and he really does heal people. But it comes to find out that I guess the preacher's helper, Sue Ann, because I watched this
his
one more in
wife.
depth because that was his wife?
Yeah,
Okay.
Suan.
Sue Ann, I didn't want, remember, I binge watched it. So she somehow had like made an altar to him, and she had like this thing, and so she was doing the prayers and conjuring this. I think it was a ghost or a demon, I don't know what it was. But she would say these prayers back behind the church while he was healing somebody, and they would go after somebody who didn't deserve to be healthy or whatever they had in life. So she would send this demon, spirit, whatever, after somebody else who didn't deserve life. That whatever would take that person's life and transfer life and healing into the person that her husband was healing. And it was just cray cray. I don't know if you guys remember the scary guy. He was scary.
The Reaper.
The Reaper, yeah, he would come out of nowhere, and his face was like all scared. Then, like his little smile that he would do before he would like wither away.
Yeah.
It was a little creepy for me, and I think one of the reasons I picked it is because I started watching this new series on Netflix called Keep Sweet, Pray, and Obey.
Oh, okay.
Have you guys heard about that?
Sounds familiar.
Okay, well, let's talk about this episode first of Faith. What are your guys' thoughts on that episode? You guys remember it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's when wasn't Dean was electrocuted or something, and Sam brings
That's why
him there.
that's why they went. They went there to try to get healing for Dean because he had like a month to live or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So he gets healed. But there's another girl in the audience. What the heck is her
She has
name?
a brain
Layla.
tumor. I think she has like brain cancer or brain tumor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been trying so hard or for so long to get in the preacher's, I guess, arm reach to get healed, and she just never has the opportunity to. And then the one time where the preacher says, yeah, come to the house, is where they actually, Sam and Dean show up and they actually interrupt, and Layla does not get healed.
Nope.
No, she does not.
No.
Desafortunadamente.
Kind of sad.
Yeah.
That is her. Yeah, that is her fate.
Yeah, but she was okay with it because I don't think that she believed it really the whole time. And when she had that moment and it didn't happen, like, she was pretty chill about it, I guess, for someone to be an actress.
Yeah.
I mean, as
Yeah.
upset as you can be. So, yeah. Anyway, real quick, side clip about this. There is a TV series on Netflix called Keep Sweet, Pray and Obey. And it's about like this altist Mormon group. When they like ruled out polygamy over 100 years ago, there was many of them who still believed in polygamy. So they broke off and created their own sect. And it's like crazy, crazy strict Mormonism. And it is nutso. But the idea of, so basically, in this Mormon culture, they kind of secluded themselves, and their preacher made them believe that if they didn't follow the prophet or, follow the religion, they would have eternal damnation. One of the examples is they thought the prophet would live forever, but the prophet did not live forever. He ended up dying. The prophet had 63 wives. And the idea was the more children you had, the higher blessings you would have from heaven, and the more kids you had, the more worlds you were able to create and galaxies you were able to create. So that was like the thing, was to have as many wives as you could with as many children, and it just gets crazier and crazier. I'm like, I finished an episode and a half, and the whole time I'm just like, this is crazy. But it brings me kind of back to this episode of Supernatural of Faith, where it's just like, I don't know. I guess I can kind of see and understand how in this situation where something is happening, in the TV series I'm talking about, they were feared into believing these things because that's all they had. Whereas in this situation, they're seeing something happening and believing something. So it was just very interesting. And the scary guy in this episode, he's pretty scary.
He's pretty scary. But I mean, for the people who are there to get healed, you are seeing others getting healed, walking, seeing, Dean himself was actually healed. So how can you, as an observer, not believe what's happening there? How can you
deny it? Yeah.
It was happening. It just wasn't God.
It was a life for a life, right? Somebody gets healed while another one dies.
Exactly.
So.
And before, I know we're going to be closing soon our little discussion, but before that, I remember, as you guys were talking, it came back to me. So Azazel basically attacks her family, Mary's family, and kills John. She's already engaged to John Winchester. He kills her, and he gives her a wish. He kills him, sorry. He kills John Winchester, gives Mary a wish in exchange for giving her a child. So basically her wish that he grants her is to resurrect John. So John gets resurrected, they get married, he comes back to collect however many years later, and the whole idea was to raise up Sam to be, remember there was Lilith, there was the 66 seals to set Lucifer free, so he could be Lucifer's vessel.
How did I forget? So John dies.
John does die. And
she made a deal with Azazel to bring him back, and she would give him her second-born child.
I don't know.
And then she saw him giving the demons blood.
Words. Yeah. Okay, I don't know those exact words, like, I will give you my second-born child. I think it was, I have to rewatch the episode. If there's any diehard Supernatural fans right now, they're probably like, you guys suck. Why don't you remember that? So sorry. Yes. No, I don't think yeah. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question then. It was just a question to that then. So for Jessica, why did she die the way that Mary died? Was that ever covered? Like, why did she burn in the ceiling?
Well, yeah, because she was a distraction. Because Azazel has been watching Sam his whole life, preparing him to become Lucifer's vessel. And Jessica was just a distraction. So.
All right. Just kind of confusing that she dies in the same way that Mary did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty graphically. I think I really kind of do want to go back and watch the whole first season now.
Watch. Are we going to be doing another, is this going to be our thing, guys? Maybe once a month we're going to pick out our favorite episode for a season?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to give me time to more than 2 hours.
Because I do have an all favorite episode. But I will not.
We'll get there. You said season 8, right? So we have plenty of episodes to get there. Or whatever you said. 6. Okay. Okay, guys. Anybody else have anything that they want to add?
No.
I will say, I do miss the dark supernatural because by the end of it, I felt like it wasn't there. Like,
Mhm.
okay, after the Leviathan season, I was like, this is the max. What else could they possibly do? And then they went like 7 more seasons.
Yeah.
And at some point, I felt like there was this. Okay, like what else are you doing? It's kind of getting kind of weird. But to go back and watch season 1, it was like, okay, it was a scary, a dark show, and I really appreciated that for what is it. Now the graphics were terrible, but I liked it for what it was, and I liked reliving them, find out about these different monsters, and having to learn about the lore, and having to learn how to use iron to knock out a ghost, and using salt. So it was a fun experience to relive all that.
I think it was the whole bringing in the heaven and hell aspect and the heavenly and hell wars, because it was different when it was just 2 guys walking on earth dealing with things coming at them unknown. And then it got different when it was like, oh no, there's a bunch of angels in heaven and they're like in an office up there doing stuff. And
I think that's
like, and then there's a guy in hell and he's sitting on a weird throne. Like, it was just, if they would have kept the supernatural elements a little more like elusive and a little more like secretive and unknown,
that could work.
It just, that's when it got less scary, when they kind of lift up the veil and they tell you who's behind the curtain,
Yeah,
well, we love all the characters past that.
But
we do,
and then we still love the show.
And then we wouldn't have Castiel.
Right. But see, Castiel's entrance, you guys rewatch that on YouTube. It is the sickest entrance of any character ever. He was so badass, Castiel. I'm so upset how they developed that character later.
I know. He became such like a pushover.
He was such a badass. Like, rewatch season 4. when they introduced him. Oh man. But still, again, they just showed him coming to Earth. Once they start going up to heaven and he's like talking to all the other angels up there, then it becomes like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like, I think part of it is not knowing where he's coming from, or what angels really look like, or what, you know what I mean? Or what does hell really look like? Like that kind of thing made it scary. But then once they start showing it to you, then you're like, oh, well, it's not that scary.
Yeah. I could do that. Oh, like I have my own heaven in heaven. I have my own room.
Yeah. Oh, all right. It's not so bad.
Like the devil is Rowena, and this is my life. Like, this isn't bad.
Like, Crowley was like a pretty cool like devil, like he was funny. He was so that's what I mean. But it was still good.
I liked hell better in Lucifer than I did in Supernatural. To me, hell and Supernatural was just like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's not scary.
I haven't watched Lucifer.
Bad.
Mom, Lucifer, very good.
Good show.
Very, very good. Very, very good.
Very, very good.
Okay. Anybody else have anything to add?
No.
Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to be with us today. Please continue to support us by subscribing to our podcast, as well as rating us on Apple and Spotify. If you love this episode, share it on your Instagram stories at Wayward_Lasses. And if you're not following us on Instagram, come on, dude.
What are you doing?
You gotta follow us. Help us reach 100 followers for the love. Please, we just want 100.
That should be our goal. Like
that is. I have a sticky note.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Right.
Sticky note. 100 followers.
Okay. All right. We're aiming for that.
Please follow us. You can stay up to date on the tips, tricks, and short stories, or send us some love on our Wayward Lasses Facebook community page. If there's a topic you'd love for us to share, email us at waywardlasses@gmail.com, and our website, www.waywardlasses.com. Lots of cool things, including Mom's blog. Including Mom. And I'm actually rereading these blogs when I post them every week, and I like them. So you wrote a little I think this is the body part that you like to work out the best, but it was actually the body part you like to work out the least, which was your legs, I do believe is, because you've had the knee surgery. So It's always fun. I think you're doing a fantastic job with
I did take a break, though. If I have to be honest, I did. I have to pick it back up again.
Well, we've got a couple of weeks until I catch up to you. So.
All right.
All right, guys. Mom, would you like to close us out for the evening?
Absolutely. Thank you so much again for joining us. Until next time, guys, we are the Wayward Lasses, reminding you to keep it real.
Bye, y'all.
Adios. Ciao. Tengan buena noche.
Hasta
Adios.
luego.
Stay classy.
Hasta luego.
I forgot it. I'm gonna punch you in the ovaries.
It's not hard.
What's the other one?
You have one line.
Stay classy.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for stopping by. I'm gonna have to write that on my
Kill the guy. I love Lamp. Mom, you gotta watch it. I honestly, after all this time, I think you're gonna hate it because we've built it up so much. It's not gonna
Yeah.
be.
It's not your type of humor anyway,
No.
Yeah.
but it's still funny.
But
Still
okay.
funny.